Good evening, everyone. I'm Delin Mathew, and I'm a career counselor, child psychologist, and a parenting coach. I know the exams are just around the corner. A lot of students have approached me while I've been interacting with a lot of students. They keep asking me which is the best way to prepare for exams, how I should manage my time, what is the hard work I should do. There are a lot of questions, queries in the mind of the students. So for next 45 minutes or lesser than that, I'm not going to take much of your time. 45 minutes, I think I should be done with the question answers. And I'll try and answer all your queries. All those of you who are watching on YouTube, please post your queries on YouTube chat. So I've already designated someone who will copy paste those queries into the Zoom link because I can't be on Zoom as well as watching YouTube simultaneously. So what I've done is I've told somebody to copy paste your queries, and I'll try and answer all your queries before we leave today. But before we proceed ahead, a few conditions or certain guidelines for the webinar. First and foremost, please keep yourself on mute. Please keep your video off. In case you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. Towards the end, I'll take your questions, or in between, you're really pressed to ask a question. Please raise your hand. When I tell you, you can ask the question. At the same time, you can type it on the chat, but it will be very difficult for me to follow the chat as well as be talking to you. So we'll keep the question answers towards the end. Please do not post any unwanted chats on the chat box because I have had certain experience of some of us not putting a very good chat. So in that scenario, we'll have to remove you from the chat room as well as from the webinar. In case some of your friends are still joining and the room is full, which is going to be full very soon, and in case you have some queries or some of your friends calling up and asking, Ki, I'm not able to join the webinar, so please tell them to go on YouTube Live because I've also shared my link of YouTube Live along with the webinar link. Ask them in case they don't know what is the YouTube link, just type Delin Mathew on YouTube. There'll be a live video going on there. Click on live video and you'll be able to see the same webinar. In case you miss some of it or some of your friends want to see it at a later time, you can go on to my YouTube channel and watch it at that place anytime in next so many years. So we'll come to the topic straight. What is the best method to prepare for examination? Desi Chora raised your hand. Do you really want to ask a question before I start the webinar, or would you like to put it for the later period? Okay, I think that's my mistake. Okay, so what are the guidelines for time management while you are preparing for your examinations? First and foremost, the most important point is make a schedule for yourself. They say a fool with a plan is far superior than a genius without a plan. You should have a plan for the next 2 months or 3 months, whatever time. I think 2 months is the time what is left before you finish your final examinations. So if you're preparing for board, I think by the end of March, most of your board exams are done. So exactly 2 months you have. So when you make a schedule, what you should do is you should have two different schedules. One is for a holiday, that is, you'll have Sundays coming in between, you'll have study holidays coming in between. So for that particular day, you should have a plan. And second is for those days when you have to go to and attend the school. Because when you have to go and attend the school, you have to wake up at a particular time, leave your house at a particular time, go to the school at a particular time, and thereafter come back. So the time limit and the routine is more or less fixed on a working day. So on that day, you'll have to incorporate, I'll wake up at this time, this is my time to leave for the school, come back, this is my tuition time or my study time or my entertainment time. Because when you make a schedule, you are bound to follow it. At least you will have some compulsion in you to follow it. If you don't make a schedule and wake up on a holiday, what is going to happen is you will say, okay, fine, I'll sit down for studies at 8 o'clock. Sometimes you'll be lazing around here and there, or something came up in between. You might not sit down by 8:30, you might not sit down by 9 o'clock. But when you have a schedule right in front of you, you will be bound to follow it. And discipline is the key word here. Have discipline in ensuring that you follow the schedule. And also, to follow the schedule, two more tips I can give. One is write down the schedule and stick it in front of your study table, so that you, when you get up in the morning, you know, okay, 8 o'clock I have to sit down for studies. 9 o'clock is my breakfast time. I can take only 30 minutes for my breakfast. 9:30 to 10 o'clock, 10:30, I'm going to do my math. After 10:30, I'm going to have 5 minutes break. 10:35 to 11:35, I'm going to do my physics. So whatever you want to do, please put it down. You have a guideline. Whenever I go to my office, or when I have woken up in the morning and made a list of to do things in the morning, I've generally seen that my day has been more productive than the days when I just try to memorize, okay, I'll do this, I'll do this. Sometimes a lot of things skip out of your mind. This is very important. That is one. Second, have a reward and a punishment system for yourself. I know earlier days there used to be physical punishment and all those. I know you can't do that. I am sure some of the parents would also be listening today. Physical punishment is absolutely a no. So what you can do is, what punishment I would say suggest to the students, you should decide punishment for yourself. You can also decide rewards for yourself. Like suppose I followed a schedule for today and I'm very happy with myself today, so I can say, okay, tomorrow I am going to take 15 minutes extra with TV or with my gadgets or whatever. You can reward yourself with something which is very very dear to you, or you can tell your parents, okay, I am going to follow the schedule for the entire week, so towards the weekend give me a KFC or a veg burger or something like that which you are very fond of. So sit down with your parents and work out the punishment system as well as your reward system. And probably you can have a scoring system in front of you or somewhere. Okay, today I followed the entire schedule. Okay, I get 10 points. Today I followed about 80% of the schedule. I get 8 points. So if I cross by the end of the week, I cross 60 points, then I'll be given this. This is the key for success in life, making schedule. The next point is focus. If there is one word which differentiates between somebody who's doing very well in a particular field and somebody who's not able to do well in a particular field, I would say that word is only focus. Where you focus, you will grow. Why focus is important is because I'll give a small example. Suppose there is a class of 40 students, out of which somebody is scoring 99% and somebody is scoring only say 40%. I would say the only difference between a student who's scoring 99% and a student who's scoring say 40% is this word, and that is focus. It is not that the student who's scoring 40% is only is not intelligent or anything. No, not at all. The child who's scoring 40% might be more intelligent than the student who's scoring 99%. So what happens is the student who has focused in academics go ahead in academics. Some of us focus on doing fun in the class, so you miss out on academics. You enjoy the fun. Some of us focus on doing fun or in sports or in something else. Wherever you focus, you are going to grow. Please note, this is a very very important word. If you don't have focus, you will not be able to grow in that particular field. Next point, multitasking is a myth. Large number of students I have come across who comes and tell me, sir, I cannot study without music. I need to have some music playing in my room while I'm studying. Or I switch off I put my mobile on silent. I don't use my mobile while studying. I'll put it on silent and keep it next to me. I'm not going to check it. Studies have shown that your brain can only do one major task at a time. All of you would have heard that you are not supposed to use mobile phone while driving. I'm sure all of you would have heard it. I say that I can use my mobile phone and I can drive also. But then why is this rule that I cannot use mobile phone while driving? Because whenever I use the mobile phone, I get distracted and my brain shifts from concentrating on driving to the mobile conversation which I have, which I don't know, which I don't do it intentionally. Because our brain keeps switching between the activities what we are doing. So when we are multitasking, listening to music or somebody else doing something in the room, or we have a phone in between right next to us, and some once in a while I would like to check my Instagram account. What is going to happen is, if you are going to study for 1 hour, the productivity will reduce into 30 minutes. There is nothing called multitasking. Your brain can only do one major task at a time. You can do 10 tasks at a time. I know that all of us are very good at multitasking, but your productivity decreases because of that. So please, if you have a phone, I always say, please switch it off and put it in another room. Not even in your room. Samarth, you have raised your hand. Anything very urgent? Or is it by mistake?
Okay. Sir, I have a question.
Can you please keep it for the end, or is it very urgent?
So it is urgent.
Okay, ask.
Sir, that you said that put your phone away, that you must not multitask. But can we take 10 or 5 minute breaks and set an alarm for that?
I will come to that. That's why I said please keep your questions towards the end. I will be covering this. Okay, Samarth? Okay, so coming back to this point of multitasking, if you have your phone, please switch it off and put it in another room. Because if I put my phone on silent, I have my phone kept right next to me on silent. I know it is not done. Whenever it beeps or whenever it vibrates, my attention is getting diverted. Same will happen. You would have posted something on Instagram, or you would have sent some message to a dear friend of yours. And after that, when you're sitting down for studies, if you have not switched off the phone and kept it in a different room, you will have that urge to check whether she has replied or whether he has replied. I've posted something on Instagram. How many likes would have come by now? Let me just check it. There will be a lot of temptation. We are all human beings. And let me tell you, phone is one of the major distraction for your concentration or focus. So coming back to the first point, when you're making a schedule, please put down in that schedule that what time are you going to check your mobile. If you don't put down time for mobile, you will have this temptation to check the mobile every now and then. So you say, okay, from 9:30 to 10:30, I'm studying, my mobile off. I'm going to take a break. That's the time I'm going to check my mobile. So please do not do multitasking. It is not beneficial for us. The next, like I said before, music, friend or foe, we still do not know. I said some time back, large number of students say that I cannot study without music. I have to have something in background going. If there is absolute silence, I get disturbed. I do not agree to that. Because if we are playing music, obviously we are going to play our favorite songs. Okay, there might be certain memories attached with each song. So suddenly when you're writing down or studying your math, solving your math problem, suddenly one beautiful lyric is going to come and suddenly you remember, oh my God, I had done this song long time back. I listened to this. I danced with my friends with this. Certain memories are going to come into your mind when you listen to music. So please do not play music if you are serious about your studies. Even while writing down, some of us students say that while I'm writing, I cannot do without music. When you're writing, what I would recommend is don't play music. Say it loud and write. See how much it is going to affect. I can give a small example. Take a 8-digit number. Like a lot of OTPs come to our phones. You might not be using, students might not be using, but your parents know it. So whenever I receive an OTP, what I do is I read it loud, that 8-digit number. I realize that my memory is double when I'm reading it loud, because I'm seeing it, I'm reading it, and I'm listening to it also. There are 3 sense organs of mine which is working when I'm reading it loud. Similarly, when you're writing or studying, try and read it loud. There are 3 sense organs which will be taking that input. So I would say music is not your friend while you're studying. The next point is train your brain. Large number of students ask me which is the best time to study. Should I study in the morning hours? Should I study during the day or should I study during the night? So I would say there is no fixed time I can say which is the best for any student, because there are some of us who cannot study at night. I cannot study at night. I feel sleepy. So I prefer to sleep early and then get up early and study in the morning hours. There are a large number of us who can't study in the morning hours, can't wake up in the morning, but prefer to study during the night. Absolutely all right. Some of us want to study during the night. Absolutely all right. Some wants to study during the morning hours. Absolutely all right. But one thing you have to do when I talk about training your brain, you have to remember when is your examination time. Your exam time is from 10:30 in the morning till 12:30 or 1 o'clock or 1:30. Some students, what they do is while they're preparing for the exam, they are sitting and studying the entire night till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, then go off to sleep and wake up at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or say 11 o'clock. Or then when they go to the examination hall, some of them come back and tell me, sir, I knew everything, but I was not able to recall. I was totally blank out. What is the reason for it? You have not trained your brain to give the best output during your exam time. Because while you're preparing for the examination, you were sleeping during the time when you're going and sitting in the examination hall. From 10:30 to 1:30 or to 1 o'clock when you're supposed to be giving your exam, while you're preparing for exam, you were sleeping. Your brain was resting. I wouldn't say resting, but your brain was not used to being tasked properly. So when I talk to you about train your brain, what you should do is while you're preparing for your exam, from 10:30 to 1:30, take half an hour behind. So from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock should be your maximum productive time. That is the time you should solve the old papers. That is the time you should give the maximum effort. Because then when you go to the examination hall, your brain will be tuck, 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 tuck. Whatever you have studied will come out. Because whatever input we are given to the brain, if you are not able to recall, then what is the point in studying that? Our aim of studying is to recall it when we require it, whether it is in the examination or later on in life. So when we give the input, our brain requires some time to process it, and after that we can recall it. So please train yourself, all students who are listening or parents who are listening, please ensure that from 10:30 to, or sorry, rather 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock should be the maximum optimum time for exam preparation. Do not allow students to sleep during that time as the exams are approaching. Next point is best study cycle. So Samarth had just asked me whether I can switch on my mobile when I take a break. So that is exactly I would like to address here. Now, all of us know when we go to school, our classes are scheduled for 40 minutes. We have a 40 minutes period. After that, we have a break. Next period, again 40 minutes. So why this 40 minutes? That is because there's a lot of studies which has been carried out by different people in which we have tried to find out what is the best time a human brain can concentrate on something. Whether it is 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 40 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours. What is the best or rather optimum time where we can concentrate on something? And it was found out that 40 minutes time is the optimum time our brain can concentrate. After that, our brain starts losing focus. I'm not saying you can't study for 1 hour. There are students who can sit for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, non-stop who can sit and study. But let me tell you, after 40 minutes, your productivity is decreasing, which you are not realizing. So the study cycle which you should be taking is take a 40-minute study time, give a 5 minutes break. Again 40 minutes, 5 minutes break. Again 40 minutes, then you can take a longer break that is of half an hour or 1 hour and all those. So I repeat, 40 minutes, 5 minutes break, 40 minutes, 5 minutes break, and 40 minutes, then a longer break. So you study for 40, that is 120, that is 2 hours, and then you take a long break. But this 5 minutes break is necessary after 40 minutes, and this 5 minutes should not be more than 5 minutes also. Why I'm saying this is because when we are studying, our brain is like a vehicle. So it is running for 40 minutes. Then we have just cooled down the vehicle but not switched off the engine. We have cooled the vehicle, then again we have started running it for next 40 minutes. Again cooled the vehicle, then again ran it for 40 minutes. Then we are given time for it to rest. Our brain actually do not rest. The time we give to our brain, that is the time it's using for processing the information which we have given. So I wouldn't say our brain is resting while sleeping or anything. No, it is not resting. It is processing the information which we have given to our brain. So this cycle, if you can follow, is the best study cycle as per lot of research which has been carried out. Now, what you can do in 5 minutes break and what you can do in half an hour break or the longer break. In 5 minutes break, which you're taking in between this 40-minute cycle, ideally you should take a small walk around your room. If you want to listen to music, no blaring music, very light music. Preferably do not touch your phone because again your brain will switch. I don't want your brain to do a major shift. So preferably no touching of mobile phone. And also, if you want to eat some fruits or dry fruits or some light snacks during this 5 minutes break. After that, when you take that long break, that is the time you can go out and play, blast your music, check your phone, have a major meal, or whatever you wish to do. So please remember this cycle of 45, 45, and 40, then a break. So preferably no mobile phone during this 5 minutes break. Because like I said, our brains, when it shifts, for it to come back, it takes a lot of time. I don't want your brain to be shifting from the tasks which are already at hand. The next point is distraction slips. Very effective method. Now, when you make a schedule for yourself, when I want to focus on my studies, I know there are certain things which distract me, and that is what is stopping me from achieving what I am going to do, or that is what is reducing my productivity. So, by distraction slips, what I mean is whatever is distracting you, whatever is your disturbance or distraction, please write it down in small pieces of paper. Like I am distracted by my gadgets. I spend too much of time in front of TV, or I don't plan myself. That is why I'm not being able to protect it. I don't read loud, so I'm not able to concentrate. So whatever is your distraction, please write it down in small pieces of paper and stick it in front of your study table. Because when you sit down for studies, or if not study table, probably at a prominent place where you can see, so that when you look at it, you know, okay, these are the things which is stopping me from getting my best productivity. These are the things which is stopping me from achieving my goals or focusing. Then what you can do is to make an extra effort to cut down on those distractions. Because till the time you don't cut down on your distractions, you will not be able to get organized. Till the time you don't get organized, you will not be able to focus. So this distraction slips, again, it has worked beautifully for some other people. Again, studies have said that this is one of the best methods to cut down on your distractions. The next point is physical activity. Large number of us feel that, okay, exams are coming. I am not going to move out of my house. I will sit and study, and study. Eat, study, sleep. Eat, study, sleep. Every research has shown that whenever you do a physical activity, your productivity increases. Your brain functions much better. So whether exams or no exams, you must do half an hour of physical activity every day. It is a must. Because, like I said, every research shows that whenever you have done a physical activity, your grasping power increases, your efficiency increases, your concentration increases, your productivity increases. So why not do physical activity? Please do not stick to this that I've got exam tomorrow, I'm not going out, this, that. And at the same time, when I talk about physical activity, What I'm talking about is a light activity. You can take a brisk walk or a slight jog or do a yoga or walk around, but don't go out and play basketball so much that you come back tired. No, don't tire yourself, because then you'll not be able to sit and study. So physical activity means light physical activity, at least for half an hour, ideally for 1 hour, preferably half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. But you must do some kind of physical activity. And also, sometimes what happens is physical activity means children go out to the park, sit and gossip with your friends. No, that is not physical activity. You have to move. Then only I will consider this as a physical activity. The next point is right food. Your brain requires the right kind of nutrients for its development, for its optimum functioning. So, when you're preparing for exams, the best diet is you should have a lot of vegetables. They say there should be 7 different colors in your plate. So it could be green, your carrots, cucumber. There should be 7 different colors of vegetables or like fruits in your plate whenever you're eating. Eat a lot of salads, eat a lot of fruits, and dry fruits is a must. Every day you should have 5 badam, 5 kaju, 5 pista, 5 akroot. Very good for your brain development. Whether exams or not exams, you must have this habit of eating these 4 items every day, preferably in the morning hours, because I know students generally prefer not to have breakfast or have very light breakfast during morning hours. So that's a time you can have it in your hand while you're studying. You can munch, or you can keep it there in the bowl, or while you're going to the school, munch it and go. Right food, avoid junk as much as possible, because your junk food is not good for your brain development. So while you're preparing for the very important entrance examinations, please eat the right kind of food. And the last point, right amount of sleep and rest. Again, a lot of students have come back to me and said, sir, I've sat and studied the whole night and then went for the exam. But when I sat in the examination hall, I was not able to recollect. I knew everything, but I was not able to recollect. The reason behind that is you have given input, but you're not given your brain time to process it. Whatever input you give to your brain, the brain requires time to process it, then only you can recall it. So what happened by a student sitting the entire night and not sleeping and going straight to the examination hall, the student is given input but not given the time to the brain. That's what I said. When you sleep, the brain doesn't rest. It is processing the information which you are given. So minimum 7 hours, ideally 7 hours, you have to sleep whether exams or no exams. Below that, your efficiency level goes down. You will have all kind of problems coming up. You might not realize, you might feel that 3 hours is more than enough for me, or 4 hours exams are coming. I don't want to sleep too much. Not acceptable. You have to sleep at least for 7 hours in a 24-hour cycle. And like I said, please sleep during the night and prepare during the day for the examination. Don't break the biological clock and then go for the examination hall. It will not help you. So these are some of the points which I had collected over a period of time. And Gia Kataria, you wanted to ask, is it urgent or will you wait for the end of the session? Okay, I think she's okay. I'll go on to the next point. That is, since I'm a career counselor, so I also would like to talk about, because now large number of you are going to appear for your 10th board, large number of you are going to appear for your 12th board. So there will be a lot of confusion in your mind. What is the most suitable stream for me? Which subject should I take? What is the careers which will going to give me? A large number of students ask, sir, where can I make quick money? I want to travel the world. So I would just like to give you guidance for next 15 minutes on a little bit of how to choose your subject, your stream, what should be your strength, and what should be your criteria. But before that, I would like to show you a video, and then we'll talk about career counseling. I hope you'll all enjoy it.
Hello, ma'am.
Where's the dress section? So I came last week. So I saw something. I just came to pick that up.
Ma'am, we don't have any dresses today. It's black t-shirt. Want to try? एक बार try तो कर लीजिए.
So you don't have anything else except black t-shirts?
बात है सारी तो शोरूम में खाली टी-शर्ट. भैया मरून ब्लेजर मेरे साइज में एक्सेल दिखा दीजिए.
I'm looking for a jeans shirt. I have a voucher जो आज expire हो जाएगा.
We've given jeans for alteration yesterday.
I'm looking for white formal shirt. Blazers तो अवेलेबल नहीं है. Black t-shirts है सर.
आज सिर्फ black t-shirt है.
Black and just XL size.
Yeah.
क्यों?
Why is that so? शर्ट दिखा दो, टाई दिखा दो.
कल तो ये नहीं था, आज अचानक.
तो ये वाउचर का मैं क्या करूंगी फिर?
Sir, but बहुत सी t-shirt. Once you try, you will definitely buy.
जीन्स तो मिलेगा ना हमारा.
मैम आप हमें हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट बताएंगे कि क्या हमें क्या करना चाहिए. भैया क्यों दिमाग खराब कर रहे हो? नहीं लेनी ब्लैक टी-शर्ट.
Where's the manager? Is your manager here? Can you call the manager?
हमने मैनेजर को बुलाई प्लीज.
He's the manager. The whole store has only one.
पहन सकते हैं.
मीटिंग में मैं क्या करूं? जो कल टी-शर्ट दिख रही है ये
बिल्कुल नहीं. Let's go.
नहीं सर.
हेलो मैम. हेलो सर. सॉरी यू हैड टू फेस दिस बट आपको आपके कपड़ों में चॉइस नहीं मिली तो आपको इतना बुरा लगा. सोचिए ना मुझे कैसा लगता होगा जब मुझे मेरे करियर के लिए चॉइसेस नहीं मिलती. आई वांट टू बी अ गिटारिस्ट बट मेरे पेरेंट्स नहीं चाहते कि मैं वो करूं.
मेरे भैया को टेनिस बहुत पसंद था. मेरे पेरेंट्स को अच्छा नहीं लगा तो उन्होंने अलाउ नहीं किया.
My friend, he's very good in maths. So my parents are always comparing him with me.
क्या सबको 90% आना जरूरी है? Does everyone need to be a topper? अगर मुझे डांस में इंटरेस्ट है तो मुझ पे 90% लाने का प्रेशर क्यों है?
जैसे आप सबको हर चीज की चॉइसेस मिलती है मुझे भी मेरे करियर के लिए चॉइसेस मिलनी चाहिए.
बात तो सही है तुम्हारी बेटा.
आपको क्या बनना है बड़े होके?
मुझे एक सिंगर और एक डायरेक्टर बनना है.
So you will be a director who sings. That's amazing.
रोहित शर्मा मुझे बहुत पसंद है. I like his pull shot.
मुझे क्रिकेटर बनना था तो उस टाइम मुझे क्रिकेटर नहीं बनने दिया.
आप वही बनना जो आप चाहते हो. It's okay. So this is all because of you?
Yes. ये एक टी शर्ट सबको फिट नहीं होगी ना, तो सबको डॉक्टर बनना जरूरी है.
All right, I hope all of you enjoyed it. I don't know, my video seems to be stuck. See, okay, yeah, all right. So I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and this is just a precursor to career counseling. So as a career counselor, what I do is we try to find out what is your strength and then try to fit you into a career which is most suitable for you. Now, why career guidance? Because in India, 1 out of 50,000 students only get career guidance in our country today. If you see the next point, 50% of MBBS students wants to opt out midway. This is a news article which had come in Deccan Herald. If you know that there are about 16 lakhs children who are appearing for NEET entrance examination, and after that only good about 25,000, 30 odd thousand government seats are there. In spite of getting in there, total of say 80,000 seats, still there's a large number of students who want to opt out because they were not guided well. Probably they joined there because of family pressure or whatever reasons. 2,400 students dropped out of IITs in 2019. This is a newspaper article in the print. Now you know how difficult it is to get into IIT. There are about 10 lakh students appearing, and there are about 20,000 seats in IIT. And still, after joining there are a large number of them who wants to opt out. And if you see the last point, 1/3 of the professionals in India are career sleepwalking. So large number of you must be wondering, what is this career sleepwalking? Career sleepwalking means right now I am doing something, I am in a job, but I am not enjoying it. I am looking for an opportunity to jump to a different field altogether because this is not my calling. I got in there, but I'm not enjoying it. So this is the data about why career guidance is required. Now, large number of students who comes to me, they always say, okay, I am very fond of joining the defense forces or the police or the IAS or a fashion designer or a data analyst or a lawyer. So as students, you must identify what is the problem you want to solve in this world, because we have lot of issues. It might be connected with hunger. There are some students who have been affected by hunger. They don't like to see poor and not able to eat, so you can become an agriculturist, public policy, food technology. There are some people who wants to get into waste management, because today there is so much of waste to see all around, so we can recycle it very well. There are some students who want to solve the pollution problems, for which we have electric cars, electric scooter. Then we can make laws. And some of us are disturbed by the safety, whether it is safety of women or safety of our country or safety of our property or the safety of our gadgets. So there are different fields through which you can make a career, but we need to identify what exactly is your calling or what exactly is your passion. Now, as a student, you must predict the future. You should understand what is going to be the future. When I've cleared my 12th standard examination exactly 30 years back, if somebody would have told me you can make a career in digital marketing or you can become a data analyst, I would have laughed, because I didn't know what all these careers are all about. But today, if you look at the world, these are some of the very, very upcoming careers. So if you look at commerce, you can see blockchain, cryptocurrency, smart money management, data security has become very important. Design, if you are somebody who loves to get into fashion designing or retail or product designing, there is 3D printing and construction, which is coming up. In health sciences, there is a huge amount of development which is happening: robotic surgeries, automated pharmacies for smart medicines, 3D printing of organs, which is happening. And of course, in transportation, I'm sure a lot of you would have heard of Tesla cars, where you don't require a driver. Electric cars are the new norms today, autonomous vehicles, insurance for these fields. So these are some of the future prediction which you need to do, so that you can go into a career which has got the fastest growth, and also that is your passion. So all of you would have seen this gentleman, and I don't want to ask you who is this. However, if you are on Zoom, you can just type down who's this gentleman whom you can see on the screen. Can you just put it down on typing on the chat box? Who is this gentleman? I know the World Cup has just got over and most of you know it, but still I just want to hear from you. Okay, so all of you are saying he's Cristiano Ronaldo. I fully agree. He played for Portugal in the last World Cup, which concluded about a month ago. So now I wanted to write what does he do to earn his bread? What is he? Okay, so all of you are writing he's a celeb, he's a footballer. Okay, so but I would say I do not agree with you that he's a footballer. I agree, but more than that is something else. So I just want to show this. Ronaldo earns more from his Instagram post than playing for Juventus. Earlier he was playing for the club called Juventus, but now he's joined the Saudi Arabia club called Al Nassr. I think 1600 crore was his annual fees. So he earns more from his Instagram posts than playing football. So if you say he's a footballer, I would say no, he's not a footballer. He's an Instagrammer. Large number of students approach me saying that I want to become an Instagrammer. I also post on Instagram, but nobody pays me this kind of money. But he's a celebrity and he knows how to tap his resources. He's got a huge team which manages his Instagram account. In Indian celebrities, I was told Virat Kohli has got 6 different teams to manage his Instagram account. So these are some of the real truth which we should know. And it is all about excelling in the field what you have done. So he's excelled in the field of football and he's generating revenue from other sources. So if you look at the list of highest paid celebrities, Cristiano Ronaldo is the highest, and then a lot of other Lionel Messi is also one of them, who's earning big amount of money through their Instagram posts.
I have a doubt.
So if you look at this, in 2009, this is how our films used to be shot. This is how our A lot of videos used to be taken, but in 2021 or before that, there is one person controlling a drone or a quadcopter, and this is how the films are shot or different scenes are taken. So the key word is you need to upgrade yourself or upskill yourself. Did you know that almost 14% of the Google employees have never attended college? But that doesn't mean you don't go to the college. It is that they have got the skill to be there. Skill is more important. There are a lot of articles I am reading. Today, skill is going to be weighed much more than your degrees. You have to be thoroughly skilled, professionally skilled in the field where you want to go. For that, you don't have to wait that I will reach the age of 20 or I have to reach the age of 25 to earn a particular skill. Even if you are 18, even if you're 16, even if you're 15, there are a lot of online websites like edX, Udemy, Coursera, LinkedIn. There are so many of these websites where you can go enroll yourself for different courses from fantastic universities, very minimal cost. From 500 rupees, you can find these courses. Start upgrading yourself, start upskilling yourself, because the future is going to be very, very competitive. I'm not scaring you. I'm just telling you need to upskill yourself in whichever field you want to join, the whichever field you want to excel. Upskilling is mandatory now. So I would like you all to see this picture. So you can see this. Sometimes that thing which is holding us back is all our head, nothing else. It is all our head. We feel that we are weighing down. Somebody is pulling us down. Nothing is pulling you down. You got the wings. You can fly high. It is exactly the story of this horse being tied to a plastic chair. One pull, the chair will drag with the horse. It can gallop. You can gallop. You can fly. Don't get bogged down. Don't get weighed down by small issues in life. Now, all of you are watching. I want you to take a piece of paper and pen, and I'll do a small exercise. I'm not going to ask you quiz or anything. A small exercise I want you all to do. So I'll request you all to take a piece of paper and pen, and thereafter I'll come to the first part. Can you assume that all of you have taken paper and pen? Okay. Yes, sir. Great. So we ask, where are you now? I don't want you to write down. I want you to write down in that piece of paper. You don't have to put it in the chat. Now, when I ask you, where are you now? You don't have to write, I'm in Lucknow or I'm in Delhi. No. I'm talking in terms of your exam preparation. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel right now you're placed? If you feel that I'm very confident, I know everything, put it down 10. If you feel that I've not even started, I'm just about 40-50%, then put 4 or 5. So you have to be honest to yourself. I'm not going to ask you to send a picture or put it on the chat or no. So on a scale of 1 to 10, please write down where are you right now. You don't have to show it to anybody. Now the question is, where do you want to get? So on a scale of 1 to 10, ideally most of us would like to reach 10 out of 10. Or some of us say, okay, I'm very happy with 8 or I'm very happy with 7. It's entirely up to you. But you set your realistic goal where you want to reach on a scale of 1 to 10. Done? I assume that all of you have written it down. The next question is, please write down what has worked for you in the past. Means, what are the things which you did in the past and it really helped you prepare well? Whether I woke up early in the morning or I sat late in the night, I practiced old question papers, or I read loud and practiced, or whatever has worked for you, helped you in your preparation in the past, please put it down. It could be 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, n number of points. If you want to leave some space and go to the next question when I ask, please do. But please be honest, because this can be kept as a reference while you're preparing for your examination. Now the question is, I was talking about the distraction slips. What did not work for you in the past? Sometimes it could be like, I thought I'll wake up early every day, but I could never wake up. or I thought I'll sit at the night, but I was so distracted or I was too tired. I went out for a walk thinking that I'll be fresh, but I played basketball and it never happened. So, what all things did not work for you in the past, please note it down. And like I said, you can leave some space if you wish. You can go back to it a little later. Now the question is what you need to do to get there. So this is where your plan should be incorporated. Okay. Your plan should come here. What you need to do to get there. And the last one and the most important one is how committed are you? If you are not committed, if you are not focused, it will be very difficult. Be honest in writing, whether you are committed at the scale of 10 out of 10, you're very hardworking, very focused, well planned, everything in your favor, put it down 10 or 9, 8, as you feel you're right. So I hope all of you have gone through this. Please put it down in an honest manner because this is for your reference. I am not going to ask for it. I hope this guidelines will help you improve this. And with this, I have finished. Now I am open to taking questions. Ashish has raised his hand. Ashish, you can unmute yourself and you can ask if you want to ask.
Sir, I would like to ask, sir, during exams, when I am giving exam in school, I am giving answers, but I am reading the questions wrong. But whenever I am reading the question repeatedly, I am reading the question wrong. But after the exam is over, when I am reading, I got to know that I have attempted the question wrong. What should I do?
Okay, so this is a typical case of being anxious and nervous during examination time. So a lot of students I do come across who gets very anxious and nervous in the examination hall. The only way to resolve this is while you're preparing for the examination, take old question papers and start solving these. So you will have a habit of reading question and solving, reading question and solving. If you just study and go, you don't have the habit of solving question answers. So this is just a question of being over anxious and nervous during examination. Not a big issue. Ashish, only recommendation for you, please practice old question papers. That is the only way you can overcome this. Nothing else. You know it, but you are getting anxious.
Sir, when I am attempting the maths questions also, I am writing down the values wrong from the question paper and my whole question is going wrong.
Okay. So same thing, you you practice solving old question papers, and in maths in particular, you should have the habit of writing and practicing. Because I had this bad habit of reading maths. And when I used to go to the examination hall, I used to make silly mistakes. So large number of students does that. So while you're practicing maths, write and practice, that is one, and also read and practice. Okay. I got 4 participants. Okay, Ashish, I'll have to move on to the next person. Aditya, can you just shoot your question?
Yes, sir. It's about career actually.
Please ask.
So in this, sir, my doubt is that I want a career in the field of history or archaeology, but I'm not able to take it up because of the limited amount of career scopes. So what do I do? Do I take up a different career or do I...
Aditya, is that Aditya or somebody else?
It's me, sir. Aditya.
Okay, Aditya, I would say there is nothing called a successful career. There are only successful people in different careers. Okay, so don't worry about getting into a career which might not be very, very acceptable in the society. There's nothing called archaeologist could be very high in demand. A historian, museologist, all these careers are anthropology. these days a lot of emphasis on anthropologists because they are the ones who study the human behavior. Whenever new products are being launched in the market, anthropologists are hired to understand what are the human behavior, how I can sell a product much faster. Okay, so there is nothing called a bad career. It is only successful people in each career. So you have to do well in what you're doing. You have to be the topper in your class. You have to be the topper in the university. I can give a classic example. There are engineers after finishing their engineering from say IIT Mumbai or some of the best institution who have been hired for 1.4 crores package per year. Okay. At the same time, there are engineers who are hired for say 10,000 rupees per month. That is 1.2 lakhs per year. So I wouldn't say engineering is a very good career. No, you have to be the best in whichever field you go. Okay, I'll have to move on to the next question. Ikroop, you can ask.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I have two questions. First of all, I wanted to ask, I have little bit of anxiety issue before my exams, so I study all the night. How can I deal with my anxiety during the exams?
Okay, so like I said, there is no question of studying the entire night. You have to rest for minimum 7 hours.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that is one. Second, before the exam, during that exam time, that is 10:30 to 1:30, you have to practice previous papers. That is the only way you can overcome your anxiety and nervousness, by practicing and solving old papers, having a feel of exam, and it has to be timed. 10:30 my board exam start. Okay, exactly 10:30 I am going to sit down and start solving my papers. Understood?
Yes.
That is the only way you can overcome it. And proper rest, little bit of physical activity, proper food. No question of sitting the entire night and studying.
Okay, sir. Sir, and the second question I wanted to ask, when I give like 1 or 2 chapters test, I give it very nicely. But when it comes for like whole book, I don't get it. Like I score very low.
Okay, this is again the question of smart study. You have to study smartly.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you have to train your brain, study smartly, because I know 2 chapters are much easier to appear rather than 12 chapters. But then when you go for board exam, you have to appear for the entire book or the entire term. So there is no way out. Only thing is that point which I have mentioned, you have to go over it. I don't know whether you have made a note of it. Then you will be able to overcome this.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ryan, if you wish to, you can ask.
Good evening, sir. Sir,
evening.
I have one question, sir. Sir, whenever I write my English exams or any other like theory exams and all, sir, basically for example, if I write a 5 marker or 6 marker, I write a whole answer. I basically
Ryan,
write a,
can I just interrupt you in between?
yes,
I'll just interrupt you in between. Jibin, if you're listening to me, we can wind up the YouTube live. So all of us who are on YouTube, thank you very much. I'll continue with the Zoom meeting, and all of you on the Zoom YouTube, thank you very much. All the best for your exams. I'm sure all of you will do well. Study well. All the